some people are afraid of AI, but I'm curious about how you're adapting.
So most of my career has been spent kind of working on the edge of technology, particularly within software, starting from kind of the hardware, moving up to embedded software systems, and then the abstractions have continued to kind of move us further up the technology stack. In that respect, technology, or better yet, the software ecosystem has always changed and grown rapidly in a lot of ways. Over the past 4 years, though, since the release of ChatGPT, the AI ecosystem, the number of tools, frameworks, and applications that are now being released, it's happening at an exponential rate. So personally, for me, a lot more of my time is spent separating the signal from the noise in most
Mm.
cases. I would say the social media, the influencers, etc. It puts a lot of noise out there. As I grow more senior in my career, I realize that, the benefit of your experts really is in mitigating risk, whether it's timeline risk or actual system operations risk. And so, me having to separate signal from noise in the release of technology is something that I find myself doing more in my personal life. And it translates very well to the professional work that we do, leading junior engineers. It's important to learn the new skills, but still understand the business impact of it all. So that's definitely something that I've had to adapt at work because I'm not used to people or junior engineers really pulling insights from their personal lives and trying to integrate it into a system. Great in some cases, but not all.
What do you think, Rahul?
Yeah. So for me, adapting, and you kind of mentioned it, I think, in the introduction about being a lifelong learner. For me, adapting is more about evolving. So I look to kind of learn from the best, and it's not necessarily about learning like a new technology or new capability to the nth degree. There are experts in those, Eb, as you were mentioning, like being able to communicate with those experts. But I really need to and want to try to understand enough to understand if it impacts what I'm currently doing or my current mission set. And I kind of like approach it in what I'll call like a two-step fashion, right? First is, the introduction to the technology itself. Is it something new? Is it something applicable? And I think it's important to recognize relatively quickly, especially at the pace of which innovation is happening right now, whether there's an impact to be had, at least in the near term, and kind of filter, as you said, the signal from the noise. There's going to be a lot of noise out there as people try new things. So what are the new things that actually can impact what I'm doing today, what I'm doing right now? And then it's important to also understand that just because the technology is amazing and great doesn't mean you should jam it into your solution, right? There are traditional solutions to things that maybe have more life in them. And we don't, as an example, have to use AI to solve every problem. It certainly helps in many cases. And I'm lucky to have folks that keep me grounded when I get excited about a new technology. They say, just because it's new doesn't mean it's better. Here's how we're doing it right now. Is it actually doing it better? And so I always try to look for that. The other thing I'll say, you talked about adapting and learning new skills. The adapting side of things, it's not always about technology, right? I am a part of a massive kind of ecosystem of professionals. I don't know all of their jobs. Sometimes adapting is a better appreciation of what everyone around me is doing, understanding parts of the business that I'm not involved in, maybe less technical, maybe a little more management. I did a foray into management and have since returned to technical. And it's important to understand that. And that's part of adapting to be able to bring a more holistic point of view and solutions to those that I'm serving or my customers.